Number one. My number one running back. We did a video on this like a week ago, week and a half ago. And people are, top 3, 1 to 3. He's number one. This is my number one 2025 running back. Right here. Redraft. Dynasty. Bijan's right there. Love Bijan as well. Bijan and Gibbs are neck and neck. But this is my number one running back. Jahmyr Gibbs is the most explosive rusher in the National Football League. He's the quickest rusher in the National Football League. He has the best acceleration in the National Football League. And he plays for an unbelievably good offense that's going to continue to perpetuate the football down the field and get this man in tons and tons of scoring positions. And he has a nose for the end zone like no other. And his coach believes in him. His situation is glory. This is, at least, if you're going to put Bijan 1, you put him 2. If you're going to put Gibbs 1, you got to put Bijan 2. Bijan and Gibbs. Gibbs is him. 117 yards tonight. Also, on top of that, though, had a 4 for 46 receiving line. This guy's an absolute monster. And if anybody has something to say about Jahmyr Gibbs not being at least in your top 2 running backs, guess what? You don't own him. You didn't draft him in 2024. You didn't get a piece of cake. So you're going to pretend you didn't want any cake. But we all know that that is a lie. We all know that that is fictitious.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hate mask coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Gibbs is him, and you know it. You know it. If you don't like Jahmyr Gibbs, you don't own Jahmyr Gibbs, and I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you, but no one's going to give you a piece of cake because there's none left. And we're taking away.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
We're taking away your Bijan card. We better create a Gibbs card. Anybody that won their week because of Gibbs tonight, raise your hand in the chat. Drop a fire emoji, an eggplant emoji, whatever emoji you prefer to dedicate toward your victory. Drop it in the live chat. Let me see some emojis. And let me ask you a question. Does anybody in the chat know where Jahmyr Gibbs went to college? Does anybody in the chat know where Jahmyr Gibbs even went to college? I bet you some of you don't even know. I bet you some of you think you like him, but you don't really like him. Monty doesn't need to go, Luke. Monty's irrelevant. Monty's a necessity. What makes you think Monty has anything to do with Jahmyr Gibbs exploding? He was exploding the entire season. Gibbs doesn't have to go anywhere. I don't want Gibbs to go anywhere. Does anyone know where Gibbs went to college? Bama? No, you're wrong, Ben. Not Bama, not GT. You're wrong, Ben. You don't even know what college you went to. You don't even know, Ben. You're out here throwing out names, colleges that no one went to. Gibbs didn't go to that college. He didn't go to this college. He didn't go to that college. He went to one college. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Smitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
Got him.
The man with the most video drops. Him and I think he's got the most video drops. I think he does. He's got the most video drops. Gibbs has the most video drops. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he's a fifth one somewhere. Jahmyr Gibbs is him. This is a guy that we got clowned on. Beginning of the year, last year. Oh, he's not going to do good. He's not going to do good. David Montgomery. People are still saying David Montgomery's name as if it has any relevance. Let me tell you something. This team runs the ball. Someone look up. Travis, one of my trusted peeps in here. Look up how many times did the Detroit Lions, including tonight, how many times did the Detroit Lions run the football in 2024? Can someone, a trusted source, look that up while I rant, because I don't want to stop right now. There are so many carries to go around in Detroit. You don't want Gibbs getting 350 totes of the rock. You don't want Gibbs getting even 300, really, on the regular. You want Gibbs getting probably something along the lines of 215, 225. That's what you want. This team runs the ball well over 500 times. I've got people looking the number up right now because I don't want to stop. If you're running the ball over 500 times, guess what? Guess what? 225 is a good number, Clint. 225 is perfect. 470 times. That's a slow day at the office. That's a slow day at the office on the year for the Detroit Lions. They could easily run the ball 550 times. How many times, for all of you trustees out there, Travis, look this up. Marco, look this up. Daniel, look this up. Jeff, look it up. How many, including tonight, because a lot of box scores don't carry that over, how many carries did Jahmyr Gibbs get on the year, weeks 1 through 17? How many carries does he have right now? I'm going to venture to say it's around 220? 220, 223, 224? Who in the hell wants the running back running like Jahmyr Gibbs? He's a hybrid. He's a workhorse hybrid. He's not a non-workhorse. He's a workhorse hybrid. Including tonight's game, how many carries does Jahmyr Gibbs have? Then double that. We're not even at what will likely be the total. Doubling Jahmyr Gibbs' carries will probably not be the total carries that the team runs for in 2025. Stop bringing up Monty's name. It's irrelevant. If Monty goes away, they got to bring somebody else in to run the ball 200 times. The answer is 227 carries. Gibbs, no, 209 is not right, Aaron. That's why I said you got to add in tonight. 209 plus tonight's carries, 227. 227. Let's do the math together. 227 times 2. Carry the 4. Carry 454. 454. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You want to see something else funny? Well, all these other Mickey Mouse shows are catching up and we're smashing. What do you do for a living? We smash. What's your side hustle? I smash. On the side, we're smashing.
Let him cook.
While we're smashing weeks in advance, months in advance, let me just show you a little board that we've had up. The Jupiter Men. First of all, the Mars Men board for 2025.
The Moon Man.
Clean. Blank. Clean slate. Mars Men.
He's on a shuttle
Blank.
to Mars.
Clean.
Mars Men.
5 spots each.
Saturn Men.
Saturn, 5.
Small step for man,
Clean.
one giant leap for...
Clean. All wiped clean. 2025 starts today. Not tomorrow, not in March, not in February after the Super Bowl. Oh, we'll come back. We're going to take a couple month break because we can't handle it. We don't take breaks. We don't take breaks. We start now. The work starts now. And you know what? We already got 2 Jupiter Men up. The highest level you can get to. Why? Because Jupiter's the biggest planet in the solar system. The biggest object, second to only the sun. It is the biggest planet in the solar system. You can fit every planet in our solar system inside Jupiter. I don't care if Saturn's further. Jupiter is the big boy. It's the bully of the planets. And we have our 2 first Jupiter men. And gee, I wonder, how long ago did we drop these? What was it? What's it been, guys? A week and a half, 2 weeks? These guys have been up on the board for at least a week and a half, something like that. Gee, I wonder which 2 players have been on the Jupiter men list for the last handful of weeks, days, whatever. 10 days, 11 days, 12 days. The 2 guys that won championships, for every single one of you in here dropping fire emojis and eggplant emojis and thumbs up and flexing emojis. I give you the 2 Jupiter men that have been sitting there, announced over a week ago. League winners, JD5 and Jahmyr Gibbs.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
And beyond.
to Saturn.
And beyond.
Supernova.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs doing it live all season long. This guy has been every bit as advertised from this channel. Jahmyr Gibbs has been every bit as advertised from this channel. Chase Brown is every bit as advertised from this channel. Chase Brown, remember how dumb Chase Brown looked week 2, week 1? Remember how long in the offseason we started yelling, Chase Brown? Chase Brown didn't look too good at the beginning of the year. It was really looking bleak as Zach Moss was looking like the better player. And we were behind on this one. Things were not looking good at all. This man comes around. He hasn't even been starting for the whole season, and he's dropping loads all over the place. This guy, Bucky Irving, these are both top 10 running backs. It's not a question of are they both top 10 running backs. The question is which one is a top 5 or 6 running back? Are both of them top 7 or 8 running backs? Is one of them top 5 and one of them top 7 or 8? It's hard to say, but these guys are going to be either 2-3 turnaround staples. I have a video up on it. Go watch the video. It's the 8 p.m. show. I lead the 8 p.m. show off with a 10-minute video on these 2 gentlemen. Gibbs, Bucky, Brown, JD5. Did we miss? Yeah, we're gonna have a show. We're gonna have a show where we talk about the hits and misses. I'll admit right now, some of the biggest misses I had. Let's start with the 2 QBs. Sam Darnold, I didn't see that coming. Baker Mayfield, I doubted Baker Mayfield very much. Adam Thielen, I didn't doubt him last week. We had a lot of Thielen questions, and he was definitely the safe call for the majority of walking into this week 17. But I'll admit, week 16, 15, 14, I didn't give him enough respect. I think those are some of the big ones that I feel like I didn't hit on. Christian McCaffrey avoid was probably one of the biggest avoid lands we've ever had. I'll admit Joe Mixon was on a tear, and I did not see that coming, but he crapped the bed at the end. So at the end of the day, was I wrong on that? I guess you could say draft him, play him, enjoy the production, then trade him before he falls off, but it's hard to know when that fall off is going to happen. So at the end of the day, I don't think I missed on Joe Mixon. He crapped the bed at the end of the year. So there's a lot of misses for sure. There's a lot of misses. Derrick Henry, I didn't miss on Derrick Henry. Togo, take a lap. Stop spreading lies and news. We had him in the top of the second round, the whole offseason. The whole entire off. Lamar Jackson was definitely a player that I should have been higher on. I should have been higher on Lamar Jackson. But look, there's always going to be a handful of guys you miss on. We smashed the hell out of so many things. Rashee Rice, man, I wish that one would have played out the right way all year long. He would have been one of the best calls of the year. JD5, if I had to say, JD5 was probably the best call of the year. JD5, easily the best call of the year. Easily. So let's see here. Won my first championship. Good job, finish. Appreciate you. Just look at how dumb the Browns are giving up on Baker Mayfield. Some players need to go somewhere else to shine. Darnold needed to go somewhere else to shine. I don't even believe Darnold going somewhere else would have the same success on any level. I think he's got JJ, he's got Addison. There's a lot of things to love about that offense, the coaching, the scheme. Look what it did for Kirk Cousins. So, but I can tell you right now, Darnold's the starting quarterback in Minnesota in 2025. Of that, I have no doubt. And I don't care how much another team offers him. I don't think he's going to take it. I think that Darnold will take a pay cut just to stay in the environment that believed in him and gave him the shot. I don't think there's a chance in hell he goes for money anywhere else, because I think the money's going to be somewhat comparable. Even if it's a pay cut, a hometown discount, doesn't matter. Darnold is staying. Darnold is the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in 2025, no matter what anybody says. That's happening. That's happening. We got a plethora of super chats that have rolled in. We got some $20 haulers. This one from Dat Boy. Appreciate you dropping that. I'll read that in 1 second. We got Vampy coming in strong. So glad to see Vampy back on the regular. Vampy, appreciate you. Vamp to the moon. Moderator, my boy. Not Kwani coming in with the first $20 hauler. I'll read yours first and answer in order in which to receive. Big Smitty, shout out to you. I won my money league for the first time in 3 years watching Superflex with Saturn Men, McBride, and Bijan. Winner also gets number one pick for next year's draft. Thoughts on who I should go number one? I would go Jamar Chase, Bijan, or Jahmyr Gibbs. Or, yeah, that's probably what I'm doing. Barkley's in the mix too. There's going to be some talk, I think, in the offseason about, not that he would drop out of the top 2, 3, 4, 5 consideration, but the workload, his age, it's a little caveat, a little red flag of sorts when you start looking at all the amazing options that you have sitting in front of you. Barkley, I love a lot. I do love Barkley. He's a consideration for sure, but I think I'd lean either Jamar Chase right now, Bijan, Gibbs, and then Barkley. That kind of would be my initial pecking order, but bro, it's going to change throughout the offseason. I promise you that. Thoughts on who you should take in? Oh, Superflex. I'm sorry, Superflex. Superflex is Josh Allen or JD5. Josh Allen or JD5. I'm sorry, I didn't see Superflex. My bad. I wasn't reading far enough yet. I saw the Superflex here, but until I got there. So yeah, we went over this last night. If you're taking a non-Josh Allen, non-JD5, non-Lamar Jackson, non-quarterback in the first 5-6 picks, you're going to lose this. You're going to lose the draft. You're going to lose the league. There's no way you're winning passing on one of those quarterbacks. You have a much better shot at getting Bucky or Chase Brown or Kyron or Achane later to compete with the running back you could take or the wide receiver you could take than try and make up for that quarterback difference. So in Superflex, it's Josh Allen or it's JD5 or it's Lamar. No doubt about it. Burrow's in the conversation too, of course, but I don't think I'm taking Burrow over those guys, but I love Burrow. Burrow's been balling out. Dat Boy, appreciate you. Thanks for the good vibes on the Sun God take yesterday. Sun God take yesterday. Fantasy champ. Here's some of my winnings. Appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler. Yeah, there were a lot of people freaking out about the usage of tonight's game and the way that the tiebreakers are, and that this game, the Lions could have sat, some of their players, and there was a lot of different opinions on this game in particular, and how it's next week that matters for the Lions more so than this week, and they should be preparing for that game. And Dan Campbell said we're going to come out and fight, but we didn't see anything on that. We even looked it up, and then also trying to look up, like, if they win tonight, what's it? Yeah, we went over it, and last night there was nothing out that seemed to indicate that they would be sitting their players. We had people complaining in the comment section of some videos that I have that are like, why didn't you guys talk about the fact that J-Mo's going to do very badly because they might sit J-Mo, Smitty? How come your channel didn't go over that? Because this channel says to start J-Mo. This channel, by the way, look at the running box score, 1 touchdown rushing for Jamo, 1 receiving touchdown for Jamo, 5 for 77 receiving for Jamo. This is Jamo country, who has been probably, I would say, what would you guys say? Jamo is probably in my top 5 of recommended plays for the last 4 weeks, maybe. The last 4 weeks, T. Higgins, Jamo. Obviously, the usual guys are locked in, but I'm saying questionable plays for a lot of people. You have Higgins and you have another player, and you're like, do I start this guy or this guy? You've got Jamo and another player. I would say Jamo is probably in my top 4, 5 most recommended plays every single week for the last handful of 4 or 5 weeks. I would say that Higgins was right up there as well. Higgins won leagues for people this week, and Jamo had a hand in that as well. Now, how does the petrified Peter in my comments that blames this channel for not bringing to your attention the risk involved in starting Jameson Williams, how do you feel now? Probably pretty good.
You've just been Smitty approved.
You just went undefeated. Fame, congrats. And I'm so glad you're here. And you did it with Moon Men and Mars Men. That boy, Los, appreciate you dropping this $20 hauler, sharing the wealth, my boy. And congratulations. Did Ill Phil win? Ill Phil, if you're out there, please win. Also, Mark Cleveland won the Mars Man League. So congrats to him. We'll talk about that on the phone lines. We'll have Mark Cleveland call in if he can. Vampy with a $20 super chat. He says, I did it, Smitty. Champion Vampy to the moon. Vampy, go to Saturn. Vampy, congrats on the 20. Thank you for the $20 hauler and congrats on the win. Appreciate you. Let me see if I have any more 20s. I don't see any more. So I'm going to circle back up to the super chats and answer in order which they received. My guy, you called it. Your boy, a champ. Gibbs is legit. Top 2 running back next year. Absolutely. He's my number 1. Bijan and him are my number. Mark Cleveland coming in with the $100 hauler. Mark Cleveland. $100 hauler. My boy. Doing it live.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. $100+ hauler. I don't even know why they're getting ditty why. $100+ hauler. Oh, yeah.
It's the voice of an angel. I hope Denny calls in tonight. But Mark Cleveland, great season, Smitty. Mark, you've been kind of MIA lately, but you totally redeemed yourself with that $100 super chat. Also, Mark, you get to sponsor any video drop you want. Jahmyr Gibbs. Who won it for you, Mark? What player of the players that I have video drops for won it for you? Let's put your name and your $100 hauler on that so you can sponsor that video. And kind of, in a sense, you're the one that kind of oversees the video. And every time we play it, your name is in the corner of the video. So, Mark, let me know. All $100 haulers get to claim a spot on a video, so you get to be played every single time with it. So, Mark, please let me know what video you would like to claim, my man. PL, appreciate you. You said you called it on Gibbs. Yes, we did. We did. I didn't just call it. We called it. The guy that came in last year off his rookie season, this profile I will update. This is last year. Last year, he was a top 3 running back 6 times, which was first in the NFL. He was a top 5 running back 6 times, which was second in the NFL. He was tied for 4th in the top 10 running with fourth with top 10 running back finishes as a rookie. As a rookie, with David Montgomery in the game, scoring as running back 2 with Monty at 12, 3, 13, 3, 23, 3, 15. And everybody's scared of Monty. Man, what about a Monty? What about a Monty? What about a Monty, Smitty? What about a Monty? What about little itty bitty Monty? I'm glad Monty's here. We need Monty. Without Monty, Gibbs could get overworked. And on top of that, Monty's so likely to miss 3, 4, 5, 6 games. We get a nice little shot of full go Jahmyr Gibbs, but not for the entire season, but for enough. For enough of games that gives us our fix, and then we get to pace it out the rest of the year. It's glory. I wish more people understood the process that must ensue to allow this man, Jahmyr Gibbs, to continue to do what he does. The fact that people think Monty is a hindrance is laughable to me. Gives me a belly laugh. It gives me a...
Take a big lap. We don't need your hate mask coming back now.
Monty. What about Monty? Monty was there almost the entire season, and Gibbs has been top 5. Monty? What are you talking? And I'm not saying Monty's bad. Monty's top 12, top 8, top 14, 8 to 14. Good player. Good player. Great scoring running back 2, 3. You know, good 2. You have him as your running back 2. You're doing pretty good. There's nothing wrong with Monty, but you think Monty has something to do with Gibbs? He doesn't have it. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Thank you, PL. Appreciate you, my boy. Coming in with the super chat galore. Megas with the $5 hauler. Says, lost my final because Adebo had 128 return yards. Kittle couldn't find the end zone. He almost had the end zone twice. Sorry, Megas. Megas, we start over now. 2025 begins now. Not next week, not tomorrow, now. Keith, appreciate the blank super chat. Appreciate you very much. Rhino, I won my main league against the biggest rival, on that last Gibbs run. Won 3 titles with Gibbs over the last 2 years. Let's go, Smitty. Easy money. Rhino, congrats, my boy. All these Gibbs monsters, all of you. You guys absolutely crush it. Oh, by the way, just real quickly, let me go over the rest of this game. Garendo looked pretty good in this game. Garendo had 4 for 65 receiving. He had 9 for 34 rushing. Could have been a lot better. Debo had 3 for 16 on the ground. Debo pulled in 1 for 5 and a touchdown through the air. Purdy had 4 touchdowns, which was actually kind of remarkable because he had like an up and down game. Obviously, 2 interceptions, but 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. Debo, again, 3 for 16. Brock Purdy had the rushing touchdown with 12 yards. Ricky Pearsall, 8 for 141 and 1. Love what I saw out of Ricky. George Kittle, 8 for 112 was a fantastic play this week. He did very, very well. Jennings, 7 for 67. On the other side of the football, J-Mo, again, league winner, 2 touchdowns. You don't see 2 because 1 is in the rushing column. Jahmyr Gibbs, 117 and a tutty, pulling in 4 receptions for 46 yards. St. Brown, 8 for 60 and a touch. Laporta, 6 for 64 and a touch. Laporta's back. Goff, 3 TDs, 303. Just wanted to summarize that game. We hadn't done that yet. I apologize. Smitty, I was down 38 points going into the game tonight. Had St. Brown and Kittle. I won the championship by 1 point with the last Kittle catch. Appreciate you, Night Haven. Congrats on the win. Mark Cleveland, if you want to call in now, feel free to call in now, Mark. And we will get you on the phone line now and talk to you in case it's getting late for you because you're East Coast time. So if you would like to call right now, my boy, dial on in and I'll get you on here. The phone line is not open for everybody right now. Oh, Vampy, I will. Vampy and Mark Cleveland. Let me open this phone line here for you two. Vampy, try calling in again. I thought I added you, but then it didn't let me. So Vamp, try in one more time. Mark Cleveland, congrats on winning the Mars Men League. My boy, Mark Cleveland, congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Why is my...
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Hold on, Mark.
Man.
I got
Let
a little...
him cook.
There you go. Mark Cleveland, congrats. Who won it for you, Mark? Who's the one that won it for you?
Well, Higgins and Mayfield, both of them had big weeks.
Yeah. Jeez.
Kittle did good. I mean,
congrats, man.
I know them 3 was really good. Let me look at it right quick. Hang on.
Yeah, he didn't even know. He's like, I won. I don't even know who did it for me. They just all came together.
Bucky Irvin and
Bucky. Okay, so
Jefferson.
Hey, how about we put you on the Bucky Irving video? Your $100 hauler, you get to put your name on any video in the corner with the $100.
Yeah.
So you want to grab that one then?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, let's play it real quick, and I'll put you in the corner right now.
Get buckied.
No one else has claimed this video,
Buckied.
which is wild to me. Phone lines aren't open yet, guys. I'm just answering from Mark because he won the Mark and Vampy.
Oh, Bucky.
Let's see here. Okay, so Mark, we're putting you on here, $100 hauler. You get to grab this video. We're doing 3 names per video max, right? I could change it later, but for right now, max 3 names per video. Mark Cleveland's the first one on the Bucky video. I can't believe no one else has grabbed this. Okay, Mark, congrats on that. You, my friend, are the... Did you get the points title as well? Because Jack of All Trades did that the year prior. So. Okay, so he's still the only one that's ever won the full title. Like, you won the main title, but to be the total champion, you got to grab 2-time junior. I already said twice. Not answering the phone lines yet. This is just for Mark Cleveland and Vampy. Yeah, so you got to win the points race and the Super Bowl. But you're still crowned the Super Bowl champion, of course. But congrats on that. Who won the points race? Travis, you can dial in too if you want to let me know.
Terry.
Scary Terry.
I think I'm.
Scary Terry Roberts.
Terry.
Nice. If you won the points total, that's great. Congrats for him. So he gets a little fame too. The loser of the Marsman League drops down to the Moonman League. And ironically, the loser of the Marsman League this year was the winner of the Marsman League last year, and the only one to ever so far win the points race. And so Jack of All Trades is going to go down to the I'll have to move this later. Jack of All Trades, I don't know. Yeah, Jotes, Jack of All Trades. I don't know if I can move it right now. I think this is it. Let me see if I can move it. Yeah. So I'm going to move him down to the Moonman League. And the winner of the the Moonman League was, God, I forgot already. Let me see. Travis is calling in. He knows. Travis, who won the Moonman League? Oh, Travis left. He'll call back. I forget who won the Moonman League. I want to say it was... Damn, I forget. But the loser of the Marsman League drops down to the Moonman League, and Jack of All Trades won it last year. Who won the Moonman League? Travis?
Garrett Morris.
And who is? Why do I not have him up here as that? What's his team name? Is it Juicy?
I'm not sure. I'd have to see a full list of them.
I'll move it over. But congrats to Mark Cleveland. And did Terry Roberts win the points race?
He must have.
Okay.
Terry was killing it all year long.
Nice job, Terry. Nice job.
Yeah, I was surprised. Mark beat Terry, because I get into the championship.
Nice.
But
all right,
just a couple of points. I think it was
great.
The semifinals were real close.
Awesome. All right, hey, I got to move on with the show. But Mark, anything else you want to say or ask? Question, Dynasty question, any other question? And then you can call back in later. I'll go to Vampy real quick, but you can call back in later if you got anything. But I just wanted to answer and say congrats on winning the Marsman League, my boy.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I won a couple other teams, couple other leagues too.
Nice.
For information off the show, so thanks.
I appreciate you, Mark. Call in and be more involved in the off season here. We haven't seen you you've probably been busy, but we haven't seen you for it seems like a month or two. But all right.
Okay, I'll try to be around more often.
All right, Mark. Appreciate you. Vampy, you got anything? Congrats on your win. Anything you wanted to add here, Vampy?
I just wanted to say I've been with you for 3 years now, and past 2 years I lost in the championship, and then this year I won. So third time's the charm, and all the credit goes to you. All the fantasy content that I watch is you. So anybody watching this right now, this is the place to be. Smitty knows what's up. He's going to point you in the right direction.
Thanks,
so,
Vampy. We did.
Nothing but great things to say about the channel, and I'll see you in March, Smitty.
March? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah. But I thought you meant like you're not coming back on the channel. Never mind.
No. I'll see you in person in March.
Yeah. I'll see you in March. This is one of those things where my mindset is like people constantly tell me, all right, well, see you next year. I'll see you. Well, good season. I'll be back. Like, where are you going? But no, Vampy's not going anywhere. Okay. Yeah, congrats on the win. Thank you, Vampy. Appreciate you. Later. Call back if you got another one.
Appreciate it all.
Yeah. Phone lines will be open.
I
What?
want to hear something crazy.
What, Travis?
I think if I did the math right, adding up the points from this final week, I think Mark's missed out on total points by 8 points.
Woo!
Caught Terry.
Wow. But congrats to Terry. We think Terry won the league. Josh, you got 10 seconds because the phone lines aren't open, but I know you missed out calling in earlier. So go real quickly, Josh. Real quickly.
I called in last night. I was wanting to talk Superflex strategy last night. I just wanted to talk PPR redraft tonight.
Well, you got 10 seconds, so.
Next time.
Well, call in when I open the phone lines. The phone lines aren't open right now, but I'll open them after I go through.
All
right, later.
I will.
Chris from LA, you got 10 seconds. And then that's it. Phone lines are closed.
I just wanted to say thank you, Smitty. Thank you, bro. You helped me win the title. And I just wanted to thank you, bro. Your start sits and everything that you do on your channel, bro, it's good stuff, man. So
thanks,
anybody listening, listen to Smitty. He's going to point you in the right direction. A lot of times stuff happens, and he gets stuff wrong, but for the most part, he's going to help you out.
Well, no one's going to get everything right, yeah. Look, I'll be honest. I've had years that I haven't been as excited about. Like last year was I think pretty good. The year prior, I think, was the Breece Hall Javonte ACL tear year, and that was a year was a year where we had things come around at the end. Like a lot of really good stuff came around at the end. Breece Hall was firing, but I know.
You helped me start Kraft, and then you also helped me pick up Tracy, and then you also helped me start Neighbor. So
Neighbor. There you go. I helped you start it. All right. Hey, got to go, Chris.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Chris's testimonials, Kraft. He's like, Smitty, I just wanted to call in and tell you that call on Kraft was remarkable. If anybody's listening right now and you're on the fence and you don't know if you should be watching this show, he helped me start Kraft. But anyway, what I was saying before he interrupted me was that there's some years where things don't really always go your way, and usually it's injury that will kill a prediction year for me, because I'll go bold on stuff, and I'm a bold guy, and things can either crash and burn sometimes, or absolutely we take the house, and we bum rush the house, and we absolutely leave the coffers completely empty. That's kind of my style. Like I say, if I was a GM, I'd either burn the franchise to the ground within 2 years, or we win a Super Bowl within 2 years. I'd be the same kind of GM. And so the Javonte Breece Hall year, that was a brutal year. Like, there's going to be years like that where injuries completely. That was the Aaron Rodgers. There was Aaron Rodgers the next year, right? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers the next year. That crushed the Garrett Wells. Like, it was just like one thing after another. But this year, look, we've had some things go awry, but which naturally you predict thousands and thousands of things. But like, man, the Rashee Rice thing was a big blow, because that was looking so nice. But man, we had a really good year. We had a really, this is probably the best year we could have possibly had. It was unbelievable ride. So many championships too. I can't remember last year that we even came close to the amount of, look at my championship, I was at 215 points this week. I won this. I won 4. I won 5. I won 3. I won underdogs. I'm third place in underdog Pomeranian. I'm third place in this. Like, just constant. This year is fantastic. Again, not without misses, but we just had a good year. What a year. I can't wait. And 2025 starts now. 2025 started a couple weeks ago.
The Jupiter men.
When we threw these guys up.
Is so large. Every planet in the solar system.
I love that Gibbs and JD5 won people weeks this week, too. Being on the Jupiter men for I don't know when I announced that. Sometimes I think it's been longer than it is, because I do like 2 shows a day. But I believe that was like a week or more ago that we put them up, but I don't remember. But nice to see those Jupiter men like finishing strong. Like, God, JD5's good. He's so good. Travis, would you?
Especially because I was going to say, especially because a lot of years there's like 2 or 3 guys that are like nobody backup running backs or wide receivers that come out of nowhere and win championships. So
Yeah.
it was nice to see, like even T. Higgins and Gibbs and guys like that winning for people.
Hey, Travis, if you got to go, that's fine. If you want to wait real quick, I'm going to read these Super Chats. Blake was saying, can you read the Super Chats faster? He's on the East Coast. He's got to go to bed. All right, hang tight. Let me get this $20 hauler. Mel, let me get Blake's out of the way so Blake can take a little nap, a little nappy poo, because we got to get Blake to work. Blake Super Chat here, and then I'm going over the $20 haulers. Blake says 6 in the puppy 3. See what I'm talking about? This I didn't even know about this Super Chat here. We're talking about third place for somebody else. Third place for... Look at Blake getting third place. Third place. 15K. Gibbs to the moon. 4 yards away from 25K. That explains why the Super Chat's only $4.99, Blake. Just kidding. Herbo to Lad overthrow for first place at 100K. Happy with the 15K. Embarrass other creators. Thank you, Blake. That's the best compliment I could ever get is you embarrass other creators. I love that. That might be my new slogan, Blake. Appreciate you. Thank you for the $4.99 hauler. Blake to the moon. Okay. Let's see here. Mel with the $20 hauler. Uncle Smitty, projections are for losers. 12% chance to win. Purdy, 61. Debo, 20. And Gibbs, 31, brought me back from the dead, 264 to 259 with help from Puka, Bowers, and Tampa defense. 7 leagues, 6 playoffs, 3 buys, 4 rings. Thank you. Mel, appreciate you. You've been doing it live here all season long with the Super Chats and the donations, so I appreciate you. Brandon, $20 hauler. Thank you, Smitty. Won 2 leagues now back-to-back. Great show. Happy New Year. Can I get buckied? I won't play the full thing because it takes too long, but I'm going to hit for you.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Okay, appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler. We've hit it a couple times anyway already, but we'll do it more if you're up. Just have us playing in your ear, and we'll whisper sweet Bucky nothings in your ear as you're sleeping. JD5, Gibbs, and Chase Brown, all on my team, would have won the chip with ease if the commission didn't delete the league this morning. Woo! Justice will be served. Thank you for the advice. Yeah, that's shady, bro. Yeah, that's why I say be careful playing in leagues with people you don't know. I know it's fun to join leagues together, but you always got to be a little cautious with, there are people out there that will join a league and it'll be a 10 fake people with them, and you got to be careful. There's a lot of thievery out there. I'm not sure if that's what this is going on here, but from what you're describing, make sure you get in contact with who you got to get contact with. OG, appreciate you. Ricardo Rodriguez with the $20 Super Chat. Anything is possible. My Garnett voice. Down 60. J-Mo came through. J-Mo came through week in and week out. Higgins came through week in and week out at the end there. Monster starts for the show, and you crushed it. Gibbs is him. Kittle did his thing, and Debo gave me a TD. Gibbs' last TD run sealed the deal. What a season. Thanks, Smitty. Champions. Where you at? Appreciate you, Ricardo, dropping that $20 hauler. You absolute monster. You $20 machine. All right, let's go over to this one here from Saya, who said, Smitty, you the best. I love the Saturn shot. Won 2 leagues out of 4. Got Gibbs and JD5 in my dynasty. Thanks to you. Love BTJ. Possible Moonman. BTJ, I mean, I don't want to ruin it, but what do I look like, an a-hole? Do I look like a complete a-hole? You think I'm going to keep BT off of one of the boards this year? What do I look like? Do I look like one? I won't be mad. Be honest. Appreciate you for dropping the Super Chat. Appreciate you, Smitty. One championship with JD5, Achane, Bijan. Would have won a second one if I didn't sit Devontae Smith over Debo. That was a tough call. You didn't know Devontae Smith was going to do what he did. Nobody really did. That was crazy, especially with the backup quarterback, the third string quarterback. That wasn't even Pickett. Pickett got injured, and you couldn't have predicted that. That was insane. Darius, appreciate you. I won the championship, 140.74 to 140.68. Attaboy. Holy shit, says Darius. And make sure you check in the morning so no score, nothing gets updated. There was a couple wild plays in that game that they could look at, and you never know. Gibbs just won me my league. Best second-round pick ever, says Professor. Appreciate you dropping that comment. Kyron, Gibbs, H-Chan, I know H-Chan failed a lot of people, but hopefully your team stepped up and you still won. H-Chan got you where you are, you know what I mean? Gibbs won me the championship. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, Omar. Thanks for dropping the super chat. TP says, someone in my league sat Tyreek and lost the championship. I mean, Tyreek was a tough play, let's be honest, you know? He was shaky. He dropped 2 touchdowns the week before. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Kittle, Bates to the moon. I don't know what Bates was doing at the end there, but he had a good year. He deserves to relax and whatever he's got to do. JP, appreciate you. Down 24, week 18 to go. What? Chase Brown or Charbonnet? I mean, assuming he plays, but Chase Brown's very questionable to play. So we're beholden to the news, JP. If Chase Brown's shaky at all, you got to go Sharbs, but we got to make sure Sharbs is good to go and all that because he's been banged up and we're beholden to the news. We got to wait, but that's a great problem to have if you've got Sharps as your backup. Hassan, what's up, Smitty? Was down 136 to 167. Gibbs got me to 162. Lost by 5. Hassan, I'm sorry to hear that. I started Reed over McMillan. Would have won. Oh, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. McMillan or Reed was a tough call. That was one we got all week, and it's like, you know, Reed's got the capability to have a 2 TD game at any moment. McMillan's him, though. McMillan's probably a top 20 wide receiver next year, and that's probably being very insulting, to say the least. I mean, he's got more upside than that. You the man, Smitty. Can I call in for a Week 18 question? Dylan, yeah, when the phone line's open, dial in. Guy in my league sat Tyreek. I already mentioned that one. Appreciate you. First and second in my 2 leagues. What a year, Smitty. Young, appreciate you being here the whole time, dropping supers. You're the man. Lost in the finals. Great show, Smitty to the moon. Thank you, Charles. We'll get you there next year. Next year begins 10, 20 minutes ago. Okay? Don't go anywhere. Championship as well. You are the best, hands down. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. Gibbs, number 1 running back overall. Jamar Chase, number 2 overall next year. Do you agree? I waver. I'm going to have a video probably tomorrow on my top 25 2025 redraft, so you'll know tomorrow. You'll be the first to know because, all of you will know at the same time, but you will know tomorrow when I drop my top 25 video. Gibbs, number 1. Let's go. I mean, like right now, I got Gibbs, number 1 overall running back, so you know where I stand there. But I think it's really close. Jamar Chase could be the number 1 overall. Number 1 running back for me right now is Gibbs. Bijan, Barkley might be my 3. You know, Barkley, the only reason Barkley's 3rd is because I just think that these other 2 younger running backs that haven't had quite the mileage might have a smaller chance of staying healthy, you know. And that just gives you a little bit of a push. Thank you, missed my super chat, says Antonio. Antonio, let's see. Only needed Gibbs to get me 11 to win it all. Gets me 26. H.N. Gibbs, Neighbors, Jefferson, my MVP with the last second McMillan. Pick up this week. 3-time champion, back-to-back seasons. Antonio, congrats. Appreciate you. Thank you for dropping the $10 hauler. I think I just hadn't got to it yet, Antonio. I skipped down and saw that, and I read it, but I hadn't got to you yet. There's a long line of super chats, and I'm trying to get through them as fast as I can. Thank you. Gibbs, number 1 running back. I read that one already. This one, let me go back up to the top in order in which they're received. Kevin, appreciate you. 4 championships in a row. Smitty, JD5, Kyron, Monty, Lamb, Amon-Ra, Puka, London, McBride, and even had Rashid Rice. Your advice is the best. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you. You're the man, the myth, the legend. BBQ, spending my league winnings on high-powered telescope. Won 3 out of 5 championships. I want pictures of Saturn and Jupiter, my boy. I want to see. Give me a real life photo from your telescope, and I'll try and doctor it up and put the Jupiter men on that planet. Next, Gibbs, Chase, Brown, Knicks, Gibbs, Chase, Brown, Bowers, Neighbors, and JMO got me the bag. Great season, Smitty. On to Dynasty talk. Now let's go. And the Dynasty channel. Don't forget the Dynasty channel. I'll put that link. The link's in the description right now, but your boy has a Dynasty channel. This is the main channel you're watching right now, youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. We're live a lot of graveyard shifts. We're live after games, before games, etc., etc. I also have the Dynasty channel, youtube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. Make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Link is in the description. We'll be doing, hopefully, right around 1 show a day, or at least 5 a week on the Dynasty channel. That is the goal. Nothing will hamper the main channel, so if something's got to give, that channel will not receive a video that day. That's kind of the way it works. This channel moves on over all else. You know, if there's an earthquake outside, doesn't matter. I go live at 8 p.m. Eastern. I think I've missed one show in the last 3 years at 8 p.m. Eastern. I've sometimes started a little early and ended like right around 8 p.m. because I've got some sort of family obligation, but that's very rare. But this channel does not suffer, but the Dynasty channel will be cranking out content this year. And this channel will have Dynasty content too. It's not like we don't have Dynasty content on this main channel. And the Dynasty channel is going to be a different format. It's all like quick 10-minute videos. And for the most part, I'll have a timer where the video is just going to end when the timer ends, no matter what. Nick's Gibbs. Oh, I just did this one. Thank you. Yes, sir. I apologize for my call. The 28th late night. Man, I was rude and disorderly. Won my league. Oh, yeah, that was yes, sir, who was arguing with me.
The disaster call.
Yeah, the disaster call.
Disaster call.
Disaster call. I was rude and disorderly. Won my league. Just wanted to show appreciation, man. We all appreciate you. Thank you, yes, sir. I don't care, bro. You can call in again. I've had people tell me to F off that call the phone line all the time. You think I care? You're like my Baba Booey, bro. We need you. Does Baba Booey not cuss out Howard Stern? Does Beetlejuice not have a time or two where he's not on his best day? You're too hard on yourself. You know, as one of my Beetlejuice people, you gotta be able to bounce back from that. Yes, sir. After years of fantasy heartbreak, where's Ron Navy? I don't know. Ron hasn't really been around lately on the show, but we know he'll be back. So he's going through waves of, I don't know. He'll be back. Some people just take little breaks here and there, but after years of fantasy heartbreak, I was able to bring home the championship. It sounds like a broken man right here that we just, cured his heart. Me and my son watched your content all year round, and it paid off. Cheers. We'll give your son a standing ovation if you give me his name. We'll do a 30-second standing O for him, bro. Appreciate you watching and bonding with your son over this channel. I don't know how. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if I'm a good influence or a bad influence, but I appreciate you. Thank you, Smitty. This was the first year watching your show, but I'm locked in with you, ready for the off season with you. You're the GOAT, Smitty to Jupiter. Appreciate you, Marcus. Thank you for the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. We got a $20 holler from Uncle Dud. Uncle dropping it, says Gibbs fire. Let's see. Smitty found you last season 2-0. Handshake 100 emoji. Your calls that helped me. Gibbs Cup. Well, Cup did drop the ball at the end. I'm sorry about that. Chase Brown. Whole San Francisco running back backup room. Yeah, that worked. Rice early on. Sorry that got called short. JT late season. That was a player we were really, really tapped into as people were starting to walk away from him, especially when he dropped that touchdown recently, and people were like, I'm benching him. It's like revenge. The guy's going to be out for blood to seek revenge upon his mistake of dropping the football before the end zone. BTJ top 10 pick in 2025. I don't know about top 10, but second round, yeah. If he goes like 9, 10, 11, I'm not saying he can't earn it. I'm just saying I don't know how I feel yet about that kind of draft value. That's insanely high. Puts a lot of risk on the table. Not that he can't do well. Solo, appreciate you. Smitty, the GOAT, won my league because of your draft rankings. Drafted JD5 in round 9, BTJ in round 12. Scooped up Chase Brown off waivers in week 2. You're the man. No, you're the man, Solo. Thank you for the super chat, my boy. College, appreciate you dropping this super chat. Come back being down 65 from Burrow and Higgins. They put a number on you, bro. Kittle, St. Brown, and Williams won it for you. So exciting, my first year. You see what I'm saying, Sport? When people don't enjoy this comeback, they don't enjoy the adrenaline rush anymore. They don't let themselves enjoy it. Like, they want to be winning by 100 before the games even play. Or they just want to quit. Like, next year I'm not doing this, man. It was hard. I lost. I lost. I'm not doing this anymore. I didn't win. I didn't beat 11 other people. It's hard to win. I didn't beat 11 other people. I'm quitting. Or I'm down by 1 point. He has St. Brown and I have Kittle. Like, how fun is that? That's fun. Comes down to one game. You get to root your player on. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But we need a harsh reminder and a kick in the nads to say, toughen up, buttercups. I'm not saying you, sport. I'm just saying, think about how enjoyable that was. We just got to remember why we play. The adrenaline, losing, and then next year coming back and proving ourselves. Next year, a year from now, you will care zero about this year. So a year from now, look back and say, I didn't give up. The things I didn't do well, I worked on. I made my weaknesses and turned them into strengths, and that's part of what we're going to do in the offseason. The psychology of fantasy football, the video course training that I'm going to implement on this channel a little more often about how to get better at your weaknesses. If you can turn your weaknesses into a strength, then all of a sudden you become unstoppable. If you just keep meandering along and say, well, I'm a good drafter, but I'm not a good trader, and you don't ever try and work on it, then you're never going to be a whole, person in this thing. So we'll work on that as always. Thank you. Appreciate you. Congrats on that, bro. Megas, I got 2 more super chats. Megas, although I'm sad, I've made it back-to-back finals thanks to you, Smitty. 1 win, 1 loss. There's a way to join the Moon Man League. No, but we'll be having a couple spots available in the Dynasty Startup League that we'll be doing. The Patreon leagues, the winners of those, and I haven't had a chance to look all that. I'll look at that tomorrow. Those 6 winners, and then I think the 2 wildcard winners, the 2 highest scoring teams out of all 6 of the leagues, not in each league. So a total of 8 people will gain spots in the Dynasty Startup official Dynasty draft of this channel. And then I'll give away the other remaining 4 spots in the Patreon. So you got to be a part of the Patreon. The link's in the description. The Patreon is where it's at. I mean, we literally have so many people in there live chatting constantly, 365, 24/7. Here's the link if you want to get in on that. I'll pin that link in the live chat right now so you guys can join the Patreon. $10 a month, canceling time. Although, if you cancel, then you can't be in the Dynasty League, and you'll be replaced the next year. So know that, because it's a Patreon league. Okay, so let's move on. Megas, appreciate you. Look out for the Patreon announcements, but I will be giving away the 4 final spots to Patreon members, and you don't have to have been a Patreon member the whole time. You could be a Patreon member tomorrow, and you'll have a shot at winning that as well. I'll be giving away in different ways. Thanks for all your help this year. Truly the best in the business. Enjoy your new year. Thank you. Appreciate you, Zach, for the super chat. Rise Above, who I know won a championship when he said he was out, and he figured out that he was still in it, and now he won a championship. Going for the championship number 2, up 127 to 112. This is so fun. I bet it's fun when you think you're down and out, and then you're winning. That's great. Let's go over to Marsman Rockout, then back to Travis. Marsman Rockout. This guy made one of them. I don't know, Rockout, I don't know if you answered my question when we're talking in a DM. But this guy sat in the best spot. Rockout, can you mute yourself, though? Your phone's still going wild. And then when I ask you the question, you can unmute. But Rockout was in the best spot in the stadium at the Washington Commander game I've ever seen. So here's the stadium, okay? Here's the field. Here's the end zones. Here's the field goal. And Rockout was literally, like, here's the seating, like right here. Rockout was literally like here in the 4th row. And I don't know, I'm going to ask him in a second. The shots he was taking, it was almost like there was not a single person in front of him. And he was like at the field level. It wasn't like he was up high at all. He was at the field level. And he was sitting in the corner of that JD5 game-winning touchdown throw. And I just got to ask you, Rockout, when you bought those seats, did you even calculate that at the end of the game, JD5 would be at that side of the field? Or did you just get lucky?
Not at all.
Not at all. Look at that luck. That's amazing. So Rockout's literally sitting here, and he watches JD5 scramble around and throw this touchdown strike to win it all. And he's just sitting there. It's the best seats I've ever seen, Rockout. That was absolutely phenomenal, bro. And I'm not sure. I may have heard a Chase Brown but I'm not positive when I was watching the game. Rock out. Congrats to your Commanders. JD5 is him. Did you win your championship?
Unfortunately, I lost by 8 to the St. Brown, but yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry to hear that. But man, you had a great time with the Commanders this season. Congrats on that. It's more important. That's more important. JD5 to the moon, bro. To the mother freaking moon. Happy New Year. Thank you. Appreciate you, Brian. And don't forget, if you want to do more dropping loads on fantasy contests and such, you just go on over to Underdog Fantasy. For those of you that haven't, that are either down because the season's over or you lost, or even if you won and you want more skin in the game, I just dropped the link to Underdog. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. If you drop $2,000, they'll give you $1,000. If you drop 10, they'll give you $5. The $10 minimum is all you got to do. And there's $7 Battle Royale Week 18 drafts, and then there's also the mittens. The mittens are what I really want you guys to do, and what we'll probably draft. We'll do some Week 17 drafts as well, but the mittens are the playoff draft. And so there's still some strategy involved on who you draft, because not everybody's completely locked into the playoffs yet, and the seeding isn't completely locked in. So you're drafting. Are you drafting Vikings? You don't know who's got. Who's potentially in these wild card spots, and so you got to draft a team that can survive wild card weekend. So if you're to put all your money on all your trust in the Buffalo Bill players, and or the KCT players, the KCT players, and then you don't have anybody to win wild card weekend, it doesn't matter who you have. It doesn't matter if you have Mahomes and the whole gauntlet. You can't do anything if you don't win wildcard weekend. So you got to strategically draft the best combination of players to win every single round, including wildcard weekend, and then have the most players left in the Super Bowl. So like drafting Lamar and Flowers and Henry would be pretty awesome. I drafted a team with all Vikings players, and you don't have to have a player that wins the Super Bowl. You just have to have your players show up in the Super Bowl to score fantasy points. So if you think the Vikings can surprise, then damn, you could draft all Viking players pretty easily in these drafts, and if they go and lose the Super Bowl, you have them playing, consecutive games. Joe dropping a $100 hauler. Son, 2 leagues 2 years in a row. Thanks for your help. Post me on the Bucky visual. Attaboy. Joe, you bet your bottom dollar you get a Bucky drop. Let me put Joe's name on the Bucky video right now. There's only one spot left on the Bucky video as it stands right now. Joe, let me switch this over. Congratulations, you are now sponsoring the Bucky Bath video.
Get buckied. Buckied.
One more spot left.
Buckied
on this one.
Oh, Bucky.
I enjoy football more when I am either betting or playing fantasy. Yes. Brian to the moon. Appreciate you, my boy. Joe, thanks for the super chat, my man. Thank you, Brian. Okay. I think it'd be better. I'm going to get my keyboard in here eventually, or get a smaller one ordered and install it maybe underneath here, and I might actually play that live. I think it'd be better if some of these I had to play it live, on the keyboard. I think that would just be remarkable authenticity that you can't even buy what we're doing anywhere else anyway, but you throw in live music on top of it, me performing that track live every time with the inaccuracies that might unveil itself. That's probably what the plan is. Just hang tight. I got so much planned for 2025. You guys have no idea. Marsman Rock Out. Any other questions real quick? Appreciate you. I'm going to get... well, actually, you guys can just hold and I'll open the phone lines because I think I'm caught up on all the super chats. I am caught up on the super chats. So, Rock Out, if you got another question, and then I'll put you on hold. Go ahead.
Yeah, for next year, can you send me a poster so I can put it out if I'm that close again?
Can I send you a what?
A fantasy football show poster.
A poster?
Oh, to bring to the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you go to a game, Rock Out, I'll create a poster for you. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. I'll 100%.
Good idea.
Give me one by next year.
100% do that. I'm bucked up. League winner. You're the cheat code. Thank you, real man. Appreciate you dropping that, bro. Appreciate you very much. Super chat galore. I even added this extra camera view now, so we got it all going on here. 2025 is going to be absolutely remarkable. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I even thought about getting back into a little bit better shape. I did drop some LBs, but maybe in the off season when it's not as busy, any $20 haulers, we pound out some sets. Maybe do some burpees right here. I need to get back in shape. I've got this. There's nothing here. There's no definition. There's nothing. I'm gonna have you guys. I remember when I do a $20 hauler, I'd pound a set with the 25 pound or the 30 pound weights. All right. Hang tight real quick. Travis, did you have anything else?
I was just going to say with the Bucky situation, Rashad White's still under contract, right? Because I was thinking, like, it's almost like the Gibbs-Monty situation where you probably want someone like Rashad White there who Bucky's obviously better than. But, like you talked about with Monty and Gibbs, you don't want him taking 300 carries. He doesn't need to do that. So,
yeah,
is he under contract? I think
Rashad White's contract is as follows. He is a unrestricted free agent in 2026. So he has one more year, and then he's unrestricted free agent material. So, yeah, we got one more season.
I know some people might disagree, but I think that actually worked out once they kind of defined their roles and, started playing like, okay, Bucky is clearly better than Rashad White.
Yeah.
Where it worked out as the season went on.
Where it wouldn't be good. Here's the contract. When you look at it, yeah. So it wouldn't work out if, let's say, Baker was not cooking over there. I think that's the problem. That's the secret sauce of the situation.
All depends on who.
If they're cranking out production, that's one thing. If they're not, then there's no room to have both those running backs. If Baker continues to thrive, and I see no reason why he can't. If Evans has good games left, maybe he gets hurt a couple times during the season because he's 31 turning 32. There's a chance that maybe Evans isn't quite the same player, but at the same time, if he can still be that guy, or kind of like Cooper Kupp this year, he can have big games here and there. I know Kupp didn't finish well, but Kupp did have some big games. I think that's enough to get McMillan in spots to keep that running stable going. Kate Otten's pretty impressive when he's asked to do a whole lot. Godwin. What happens with that situation? Godwin's a restricted free or
he's
unrestricted.
A free agent.
Yeah, he's a restricted or unrestricted? Let's see. I think he's unrestricted. But they can franchise tag him. They can franchise tag him, though.
I would think he'd go somewhere else.
But they can franchise tag him.
I think he'd go somewhere else. Yeah, true.
They franchise tag him. You can't. So tough to say. Godwin is a unrestricted free agent 2025. Yeah. So he'll be him and Darnold are pretty much the two biggest names, I believe, in free agency 2025. If I'm not mistaken.
Aside from T. Higgins.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, T. Higgins. T. Higgins, Godwin, and Darnold are the biggest three free agents.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
I think those are the biggest three.
Other guys like Aaron Jones, Najee Harris.
Yeah, not as
Diggs,
big.
Cooper, D-Hop.
Not as big. Not as big. Darnold's going to go back to Minnesota. I think Godwin will, because of his injury, though, I don't know that he's going to get the looks that he wants. So they're going to try and bring him back, I think. That team's doing so well, I couldn't imagine them not trying to keep it together. Higgins is the one player that I think he could give two shits about, giving a hometown discount. I think Darnold 100% will do whatever it takes to stay in Minnesota. I think if they came in and said, look, Sam, you're going to get $5 million more a year going elsewhere, I strongly believe he would be like, I don't care. This is more money than I'll ever spend. I'm successful here. And think about this. Let's say, and on a contract that Darnold was signed, $5 million a year different, even if it was that. I'm just throwing that number out. That's not like it actually will. He'd ever fully get paid that anyway throughout the course of the contract. Think about, like, let's say he played 3 years before things went awry or whatever. Let's say he loses $15 to $20 total million in his hometown discount. If he goes somewhere and fails in 1 year, he could lose more than that in sponsorships and jersey sales and all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, anybody thinking that it's all about the contract and not about the fit, and on top of that, what kind of person do you want to be? Somebody that fails out of the NFL? You go somewhere else, you try and get cute with the situation that you've been granted and given and blessed. You get cute, you go somewhere else, you fail, and you have a miserable exit from the sport you love. Or if you're about winning, you're about family. This team is like a family. The coaching staff's like a family. I don't know if anybody saw when Darnold came back into the locker room after that game. They picked him up. They were cheering his name. You're telling me he's going to care more about money than that feeling right there after he was already down and out and skipped over and nobody believed in him? Yeah, right. It's more important to feel like that when you have more money you can spend than to get $5 million more a year that you might lose altogether in incentives. Or, I'm sorry, in sponsorship dollars. Darnold's staying. Darnold is staying.
And on top of it, he's not going to go anywhere with better weapons. Like,
nowhere.
On top of the team part and the family part, and I mean, he's got, like you talk about, arguably the best pairing wide receivers in the entire league.
Yes. Andres, I won my championship my first year because of Smitty. My family hates the fact that I made all Smitty approved trades. Thank you, Andres. Appreciate your chat here message. Smitty, first year watching the show, won 2 out of 3 leagues I was in. Thank you for everything you do. Much love. I can't tell you how grateful I am of all the great comments, number one, but how excited I am to see more celebratory messages than I've ever seen before. It's just crazy, and from regulars, from regulars that I this is not like some random, like I see a lot of regulars. Yeah,
it's good vibe in the chat.
Yeah, Darnold, good for Darnold, and you know what, Matt Maiocco, I owe Matt Maiocco an apology. He did make a weird claim. The claim Matt Maiocco made was that he threw the best football, not that he's the best quarterback or has the best arm, that he threw the best football he's ever seen in 49er history. And I clowned on him for that, and I apologize. Matt Maiocco, from me to you, I apologize. I'll take a laugh. But I will say, again, it doesn't matter. But Sam Darnold in another environment, I think he probably wouldn't succeed. But it doesn't matter. Like Tom Brady in another environment or Kurt Warner in another environment when they were coming up. And it doesn't matter that Darnold already came up and failed. It doesn't matter. If you take Kurt Warner out of L.A. and you take, or St. Louis, sorry. You take Kurt Warner out of St. Louis at the time. You take Tom Brady out of New England, and you put them in just another situation where they rise up and start real quick, they might have failed. So it doesn't matter. You can't separate situation from player. And right now, Sam Darnold plays for the Minnesota mother-freaking Vikings. And right now, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are balling. And that's all that matters. You cannot separate situation from player. It is what it is. Let me see here. Goat, I appreciate all the graveyard shifts powered through the elusive flu for shows, through dog scares. We were here. Thank you. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much. And Magic, appreciate you. Let's freaking go. Gibbs got me across the finish line, took down the back-to-back championship. Gibbs to Saturn. Thanks for all your help. Smitty to the Jupiter. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you for reminding me I got to get the Jupiter button going. Let me write that down because I'm going to forget. Jupiter, get Jupitered. Get Jupitered. Okay. Travis Rocky. Oh, I'm sorry. I got Dre on the phone here. Dre from New Jersey, you're live.
Uncle Smitty, I know you know that's me. That's me. Andres on there. It's my full name. But
Andres.
Listen, Uncle Smitty, I just gotta thank you, man. Like I said, it's my first year. I watched every single show, even if I didn't have the right players that you would talk about, just to stay on pivot. And you are the best, man. I just gotta give you your flowers for a second. Smitty to the moon, to the galaxy, to the Andromeda galaxy, whatever it is.
Andromeda.
You're the god. I just wanted to say thank you. Yeah. Andromeda.
Andres. How do you get Andromeda's wrong when you're Andres? That's right. Hey, bro, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate all of your guys' comments and everything. And honestly, like, this year, I'm telling you, like, I can admit there's years that I have had disappointing endings where I'm kind of down a little bit with the way things felt overall. You know, like, the Breece Hall and Javonte Williams ACL tear years. That year really was the first year that I'd had in a while where I was like, God, we just got hit by, if it was not one thing, it was another. Kind of like the Mahomes thing this year. I really think I got screwed. It is what it is. But I got screwed out of the Mahomes prediction because he lost Rashee Rice. He lost Hollywood Brown. He lost Isaiah Pacheco. They dumbed down the offense. They figured out a way to drain the clock and just abuse teams through weird ways that they worked very well. And now that you got Hollywood back, now that Worthy's on his horse and Pacheco's back, even though Pacheco's not balling out, it's just another dynamic. I mean, they look really good. Mahomes is back to throwing 3 TD games, and that Mahomes derailment felt like the way that Breece Hall, Javonte Williams double ACL tear year, it felt like the whole year was getting that treatment. And so this year just feels like, man, we had so many things that I'm so proud of all of us for. This chat community is the best too. Like, when we do ask the audience questions, I mean, I feel like I could trust the answers sometimes more than my own, you know. So I love going to the audience for questions. But I appreciate you, Andres, and he hung up a long time ago. Good talk, Andres. Good talk. Marco from Albuquerque.
Hey. Smitty.
Yeah.
Hey, so 1-1 league, double champ there, the points, and won first place. Unfortunately, in this second league I'm in, we're going into week 18. And so my dilemma is I have Josh Allen, which is he's probably not going to play very much.
Yeah, we just don't know yet. We just don't know. Like, a lot of people were saying that the Chiefs were going to sit all their players. Remember yesterday? And I go, we don't fully know. And everyone's like, no, it's out there. They're sitting all their players. And I'm like, we don't really know. Like, people are saying that, but we don't. Like, we got to wait for Andy Reid to tell us that. What did Andy Reid say today? He's not sure. So we don't know. The answer is we don't fully know. But go ahead.
Well, I kind of need a backup, so it's between Bryce Young or Penix. I kind of feel like
Bryce Young or Penix. Yeah, man. I mean, look, Bryce Young is good. He is steady. He could get you 2 touchdowns. Penix Jr. got robbed again in many ways in this game. Many ways. The things that happened with my example of Mahomes, you know, how the season was stolen from Mahomes fantasy wise. It just was unfortunate. Like, if Rice never got hurt and Hollywood never got hurt, I think Mahomes would have 45 passing touchdowns. I don't.
That was all the difference.
I don't back down from it. I don't think I missed on that, other than it wasn't like coaching, like the Bijan Robinson debacle. Not this year. He's amazing this year, but last year with Arthur Smith. You could, there's some ways you could argue that, hey, Arthur Smith, you know, we should have known this because of this, but for the most part, Arthur Smith did really well with Algier that year prior, so it was hard to really see the forest from the trees in that situation. But that is a situation where you could say, Smitty, you didn't see the coaching situation that was setting that up for failure. With Mahomes, it was injuries. I couldn't help it. But what I was trying to say there is the Mahomes not being able to fully be unlocked all year So frustrating to watch. I feel like Penix Jr. is getting a dose of that right now. Dropped balls, Kyle Pitts, London dropping touchdowns and dropping footballs. He was great last week, but just like craziness, man. Raheem Morris screwing him out of a win. That would have been such a confidence booster. And I was, even though I'm the biggest JD5 fan on the face of the earth, I was rooting for Penix Jr. because JD5 would have been okay. The Washington Commanders, in my opinion, would have been okay. Yeah. I wanted Penix Jr. to win that game for him, for his confidence, for everything, for the Falcons. And so I was semi-rooting for that. I love both outcomes, but I was semi-rooting for that, and it pisses me off. I really believe Penix Jr. is a dog. I think Bryce Young's a safer call. You go Penix Jr., he still might get you 220 and 1 TD. And Bryce Young get you 240 and 2 TDs, and you just you're taking a risk that Penix Jr. has that 3 TD game. It's also a wild week. It's week 18. You just don't fully know how it's going to play out. It's hard to say, bro. Yeah. It's hard to say. But Josh Allen for a half, I'd rather have over anybody. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they said he's playing a half, I'd keep him in.
Yeah, so let's wait and see on the news. We're definitely beholden to the news, bro. All right?
All right, cool.
All right, appreciate you.
I'll be watching this week. All right, thanks.
Yeah. DeBolt with a $50 hauler. DeBolt, my boy, $50 hauler.
$50. Give me $50 hauler. Get by the brother, Smitty. Give me $50.
DeBolt coming in strong. DeBolt, appreciate your $50 hauler. Where was I? I was here. $50 hauler. DeBolt to the moon. On call tonight. Sorry for the absence. Gibbs and McBride won me my league dynasty, back-to-back championships. That trophy stays at its home, so it stays with you. 2025 season starts now. We grind 24/7 here at the Fantasy Football Show. Thank you, DeBolt. Said very much like Terry Roberts. That's how Terry Roberts would have worded that, huh, Travis? That's like half of Terry Roberts is an unselfish advertisement. Half of his super chats, half of his messages are pretty much promoting everything I'm speaking on. Thank you, DeBolt. Terry couldn't have said it better himself. Had to choose between Devontae Smith, Bigsby, and Coker for the title. Chat gave me Smith. I won my dynasty by 6 points, surviving J-Mo Williams. Thanks, chat. That's why I asked the chat. When I'm torn and I'm forcing an answer, and we're toying around with the Coker call, right? We were. The chat came through and said Devontae Smith. That's why I go to the chat. Freaking love that. I love that. Dylan, lost your number. Can you drop it real quick for week 18, says Dylan. Yes, I will drop it right now. Let me get these 2 super chats out of the way. I pray if the Giants miss a top QB in the draft, they can get Darnold and draft Travis Hunter. They will not get Darnold. He's going back to Minnesota, but I get your vibe. Maybe Fields, I don't know. But they won't miss a top QB. Malcolm, go. Coach Smitty, are you doing a show dedicated to Week 18 championship? Some of us are stuck dealing with it. I mean, I'm going to do what I can, but for the most part, honestly, bro, it'll be me giving you the news at the beginning of the show, and you give me your dilemmas on the phone line and super chats, and I'll do what I can to answer, but nothing really changes except for I'm going to be going on rants and kicking my show off with 2025 content like I did today. Bucky, Irving, Chase Brown, are they 2025 top 10 running backs, top 5 running backs? And then I give you news if there's news. It was, game day, so there wasn't much news. And then we open phone lines and all that. So absolutely, I'll be here for you. But we'll be talking 2025, chewing gum and walking at the same time, as we say here on the channel. Dial into the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Okay, Josh from Ohio, you're live.
All right, hey man, I called in last night. I was talking draft strategy for Superflex. I was wanting to talk PPR redraft on this one though.
As quick as you can. I don't want to spend as much time as we did last night on it, but go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I just wanted to, I plan on calling in a lot. I've been playing, fantasy football for 23 years now, but redraft PPR league, wondering your thoughts on,
Spit it out. Spit it out, Josh. Spit it out. You've been speaking for 2 minutes and you haven't asked the question yet. Go ahead.
I was wanting your thoughts on taking quarterbacks, passing early, and wait until like the 10th, 10-team league, 10th, 12th, taking back-to-back quarterbacks and taking 2 stabs at getting a top 5.
Are we talking one QB? Are we talking one QB now, you said?
Yeah, one QB league. It's a strategy I've used over the years. I just try to take 2 shots at guys.
Can I stop you now and just say no? I'm not saying that what you're telling me I won't do, but I do not take a set strategy into my. I take some parameters. Like I kind of know through mock drafting that at the bookend 12 and 13 pick, I'm going to probably end up with these guys, and then half the time I end up with them. What you're telling me is you're locking in a strategy that could leave a lot left on the table, bro. You can't. It's kind of like. I like the idea if best player available opens these doors, but you should be considering the best player available at every turn. So if you're sitting there in round number 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going best player available, BPA, every single time. And if best player available brings you quarterbackless walking into into rounds number 5 and 6, and you still don't have a quarterback left because best player available has not afforded you that opportunity, then yes, we're in that position where now we're deploying what you just described. But far too many people actually avoid quarterbacks that are great and are better picks and safer calls because they decided to do it at the beginning of the draft. So my answer to you is best player available. Could what you say work? Absolutely. Could what you say could what you say work fail? Yes, absolutely. So it's that simple, bro.
And you're looking at the draft next year on tight ends. It just seems like you have to almost get a top 3 tight end. With McBride and Brock Bowers, it just seems like the drop off is so drastic after an elite tight end.
You would think that, but the thing you also got to remember, bro, is that it looked like tight end was absolutely locked solid this year. Rock solid, locked in, loaded. Just absolutely easy peasy. Grab an elite tight end. There's so many of them. And look how many failed. Everyone was failing. The tight ends were... Brock Bowers was leading tight ends and not scoring touchdowns. McBride had 1 touchdown at the very end of the season, and he was the top. You know what I mean? Like, look, Laporta's going to be a steal. There's going to be plenty of potential tight end steals. So the answer, again, it sounds to me like, and no offense, bro, and this is me trying to help you, it sounds to me like you have a set plan and you just deploy it. You don't even care what's left on the board. You're like, you have to get one of those tight ends. You don't have to get one of those tight ends. I like to draft all my quarterbacks late. This is the way I do it. That both of those strategies can absolutely work, bro. But trust me when I tell you, planning it out is not a good idea. It's not.
I'll look at like teardrops, like that's my plan. But if there's a QB in tier 1 sitting there, and he's the last one in tier 1, and it's my pick, now there's a teardrop, then I'll, break off the plan.
There again, I feel like you're drafting. Tier drafting is not the way you win leagues. Tier drafting. Oh, he's the top in his tier. I'm just gonna take him. Like, take a player, bro. Draft a player, not a position. But all 3 of what you're saying match exactly what I'm describing. You are a set plan guy. You're going to take a tier.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
But it would be the last guy.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Draft the best player available. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then I do. And then
the best player available might be the tight end because of that positional advantage. Absolutely. Like, these are things that you factor. But to draft a player because of some parameter, like he's the last guy in his tier, I don't even like him. But he's the last guy in the tier, I'm taking him. Or I'm going to go quarterback late. bro. Okay, hey, I gotta go, bro. We could talk about this forever, Josh. But pay attention to my BPA content this season. And I'm not trying to rip on your takes.
Yeah.
Your takes could absolutely win, bro. You could have the best player available, ironically, unfold the way you're describing in this particular, style, and you crush it. But best player available allowed for that. Just pay attention to my BPA content. There's no, and also understand this. There is. Let me just. This is the way that it works. Okay, this is the absolute way that fantasy football works. This is the only way. Best player available, BPA, is the only draft strategy. That is draft strategy numero uno, and it sits by itself. You want to talk about tiers? Tier break. This is it. Everybody should be drafting best player available. And then what happens? Best player available then opens up these sub strategies, which might be hero, RB. But that is a sub-strategy of best player available that told you to do that. Not that you should walk into your draft and activate hero draft strategy because you heard it on some YouTube channel that you should do it because the winner of last Best Ball Mania went hero RB and he won. He won because he probably drafted the best player available, which ended up in hindsight, when you piece it back together, he went hero running back. You got to go BPA. BPA then opens the door to what strategy you're deploying. That is it. Plain and mother freaking simple. So please consider late QB drafting, early QB drafting. All of these are sub-strategies of BPA, and BPA opens the doors. Picture it like, have you been, when you go to Disneyland and you're on the Indiana Jones ride, and you go around at the beginning, I believe, and it has the 3 doors, and you don't know which door you're going to go in. BPA, picture BPA is the one that opens the door. He might open all 3 doors. So then you have a decision. Okay, I could go in any one of these directions. BPA might open just one door, hero running back. BPA might open late quarterback. But you have to let BPA dictate where you're headed, because I can tell you right now, Josh, you versus me, if I'm taking the best player available at every pick and you're taking tier-based drafted players, or a set, I'm going to go tight end because they're limited and I'm going to just make up for it somehow, I'm going to crush you every single time. But if you do your strategy, but based on the doors that open for you, you're going to have the best value at every pick. Best player available. And sometimes BPA will do this, Josh. It will create a void in your lineup, and sometimes you'll have an uncomfortable team. And no one's saying take 2 tight ends because it's the best player available. The tight end won't be the best player available if you already own one. That's factored into the calculation of what equals best player available. So there's no tricking me on this, or people saying, oh, you're going to take 2 QBs. No, once you have a quarterback, the best player available can't be a quarterback because it changes the prediction for you. It's your best player available. That's why best player available is not a guarantee, because you still have to be right on your predictions and projections and valuations. But if you're sitting there and you go, okay, Ja'Marr Chase is here. He's the best player available by far. Boom, smash. Okay, you get right here. You know what? Josh Allen is the best player available. I do not like these. This is 1 QB, mind you. I do not like these running backs and wide receivers. I got sniped like crazy. Josh Allen's a lock. I'll go Josh Allen. Then you get over here, and let's say you draft, give me a 3rd-round receiver. Anybody?
Oh, 3rd round.
Let's just say who?
McLaurin.
I was going to say Nico and Puka. Those guys are gone by then.
No, yeah, they're gone. Let's just say BT. Let's just say BT fell. Let's just say BT. For argument's sake, I know he won't, but let's just say BT fell. This is perfect for my example. Yep. You're playing in your family league. They don't know what they're doing or whatever. You have to take BT there. You have to. He's the best player available. Bro, you have no running backs. You have no running backs right now. You took best player available. Best player available is going to sometimes create voids. Now you're playing catch up at RB, but you have hit a home run with every single one of your picks so far. So that's okay to be hurting at one position, to be, scarce here or there. That's what BPA can do. But when the most beautiful part about BPA though is when it opens up balance. Like let's say Kyron falls because people are going to hate Kyron like normal. I really think Quorum's going to take his job this year. I could just see it now. So you get Jahmyr Chase, you get Kyron, and let's say JD5 falls right here. This is balance. This is glory. This is beautiful. This is what I want. When best player available gives me balance, you have the best formula and version of BPA that you could ask for, because now you can go in any direction you want with this 4th round pick. This 4th round pick has no pressure to say you got to go receiver. You haven't gone one yet. You have to go running back. You haven't drafted one yet. You have no pressure at all. You can go in whatever direction you want to go. You could go tight end if the right tight end fell here. You could go whatever the hell you want. So start using BPA, my boy. All right, I got to go, Josh. I'm sorry. I got to go. Appreciate you. Dylan, you're live. Josh's phone calls take about 4 hours, by the way. But I appreciate Josh. Okay, go ahead, Dylan.
Yes, I'll try to keep it a little quicker. First off, thanks for the season.
Yeah.
3rd year, taking home my 2nd chip. 1st year watching you, though. Made some super solid trades, so stoked on the channel. Got a couple Week 18 questions. I'm up 6 now with Gibbs finishing it up for Week 1 out of the 2-week championship. Lucky with most of my team is really going to be fighting for it next week, but kind of in the flex, I'm going between Nico Collins. He's probably not going to play too much. And I'm not really sure about Charbonnet or potentially picking up either Romeo Dobbs or somebody else on the waiver who's going to be fighting for it a little bit more.
I don't know the answer to this yet. I can't help you with this until we have more news. That's probably one of the most unfortunate things when someone calls in with a Week 18 piece of advice is I don't have enough information. None of us do to really be able to tell you what to do yet. The previous week just ended at like an hour and whatever ago. So we don't have enough information. So you'll have to call in later in the week when we have that. I don't even want to guess right now because I have no idea like what the playing time is going to be.
Yeah, jumping the ball a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, Sharbs, if he plays and he plays a lot, it's going to be a great play. Considering your situation.
Okay, cool.
But yeah.
Lucky enough to have Burrow and Chase for fighting for it.
Yeah, but
Evans,
change.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. But change it, bro. You guys got to change it. I'm even tempted to like do a rant. The only reason I can't really commit to the rant that I want to commit to, which is we need to dial it back to Week 16. And I said this when they first expanded the schedule. I said, what are we doing? We don't even know what this is going to look like yet, and everybody's just going to automatically move the championship up a week. The only reason we kind of have to is the bye week in Week 14. So if we were to go 14, 15, 16 again, there's probably going to be bye weeks in Week 14, and then you can't have that. So it's like, what's worse? Probably that. Unless you go down to 4 teams and you do some sort of creative, like, early playoff battle, and fantasy takes a little, like, look at the NBA with their mid-season tournament. I think that would be really awesome to implement some sort of mid-season kind of championship in fantasy football where a good team that's going to fail later and that disappointment you have of your team dropping off at the end due to injuries, you can win a big pot of money at the mid-season championship mark. I think that's fantastic. I'm gonna rally for that on my show to come up with that kind of idea or concept. But the problem would be like if you could come up with some sort of playoff thing that allowed you to play just the 2 weeks, weeks 15 and 16, it's probably better off for everybody at the end of the day. Having Week 14 be a part of it would be problematic. But Week 17 is bad enough, bro. You're playing Week 18, it's wild. It's nonsense.
Yeah, one of my other leagues does Week 18. Everyone throws in an extra $30 and winner takes all. So it's something to do.
I got you. Okay. But yeah,
that's not for this one though. That's a different league. This was a whole different scenario. This is the first time I've been in Week 18, so even little things like kicker defense gonna have to do a little bit more.
Well, call back in later in the week. Yeah, call back when we have definitive info. Like even when you've heard what you need to hear and then you want the advice on it, call back in and we'll talk about it then. All right, later, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Marsman, rock out. You got anything else before I let you jump, pal?
Yeah. So do you think the Giants trade with the Patriots to get Shador Sanders?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry. Giants what?
Do you think the Giants trade with the Patriots to get that number 1 pick?
I think
Get,
I think
Shador Sanders.
I think they have to. I think whoever ends, if the two teams at 1 and 2 don't need a quarterback, this is going to be madness, because then the Raiders and Giants might not be the teams that grab these two quarterbacks. The Cardinals might be the team. The Tennessee Titans could be the team. Like, what team's going to sacrifice enough to trade into that spot? Again, I could burn a team to the ground in 2 years if I become GM, but I could also potentially win a championship within 2 years. And the move I would make as the Cardinal GM would be to trade Kyler Murray away. Do it before you draft. That way, I mean, or maybe you acquire the pick first, but then you trade Kyler away. But the moment you have the pick, you might devalue Kyler's value a little bit. But as long as you haven't drafted a quarterback yet, you'll kind of be okay. So you trade your first rounder as the Arizona Cardinals up to number 1 or number 2. And to do that, you have to surrender additionally 2 first rounders. But because you're getting one, you're only doing 2. You're only giving up 2 first rounders to move up your first rounder this year. I would do that and grab a hold of Cam Ward or Shador Sanders. It is well worth it. If I didn't do that, I would 100% get Justin Fields and still trade Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a garbage quarterback. He is an amazing athlete. He's a fantastically talented athlete and player. Physical skills are amazing, but he's a horrible quarterback. He's a horrible leader. He's a horrible quarterback. He doesn't throw to MHJ. When he's questioned by the media why he hasn't thrown more to MHJ, instead of saying something logical, he says something that makes you think he doesn't know how to read defenses or even understands a progression. Because he literally answered to the media when asked point blank why you don't throw to MHJ. His answer was literally, I throw to who my coaches tell me to throw. Sometimes it's MHJ, sometimes it's not. That answer made no sense, because you're essentially saying you don't go through progressions. Like, how do you have a set play every play to throw to a certain player? That doesn't make sense. He either didn't answer the question properly, or this man literally has been tricking everybody. He doesn't know football. Kyler's garbage. And if I'm the Cardinals, I go after that pick. So it's going to be such an entertaining battle for these teams to fight for the number 1 and number 2 pick. And there's a lot of teams that could use them. The Raiders and Giants, I think, will give up the most to get it done, though. So even if the Titans or the Cardinals got involved, they're just going to overpay, hopefully. Hopefully. We want Bowers to get one of Shador or Cam Ward. We need Neighbors to get one of Cam Ward or Shador. I do believe at the end of the day, the Giants will give up whatever the hell they need to get it done. And if not, Fields will be there for anybody that needs that quarterback. I don't think Darnold will be in the picture. Maybe Darnold, I don't even think Darnold shops around. You know how Kirk Cousins was sent on his wine and dine experience and then he ended up staying away and he signed with the Falcons? I don't even think Darnold's going to disrespect the Vikings enough to leave and go shopping. I think Darnold is going to say, you believed in me. I'm not going anywhere. Now, maybe J.J. McCarthy gets traded. I don't think it would be smart necessarily from a football perspective to get rid of a player that is that cheap, right? That is that solid of a backup. But at the same time, there is a general thinking in the NFL that if you have a player like that sitting behind another player, it does create some uneasy feelings and some we're not committing to you type of vibe. But at the end of the day, is the team better off with J.J. McCarthy if something happened to Sam and they could win? And does Darnold, understand that and accept that? And the fact that, like, J.J. McCarthy's no threat at all. If Darnold continues to play ball, McCarthy's got nothing to offer to say, hey, I could take the job from you. So McCarthy hasn't earned anything to take the job. But if the Vikings do feel uneasy about having McCarthy there while Sam Darnold's getting this big bag, and they feel like they can improve the team slightly to give him the edge to win the championship, then they might trade JJ to get that piece to give Sam what he needs to win a championship. So it is interesting to think that McCarthy could go somewhere. Darnold won't go anywhere. McCarthy could go somewhere. Fields will be somewhere starting. The 2 quarterbacks, Cam Ward and Shadur, will be starting somewhere, and there's a really good chance that Ewers could be starting somewhere as well. Arizona would be interesting there as well. But I think Fields in Arizona would be fantastic. I love Fields. I don't care what anybody thinks of him. I know what I know about Fields, and Fields is a broken player,
Yep.
and no one's fixed him yet. No one's tried to fix him yet. Rock out. Anything else?
And how would you feel about Ridley's ranking if he had Cam Ward?
I don't know. I think Tennessee's a trash heap. I don't think that Cam would develop quickly there, and Ridley will be too old before it really matters. I think Cam is.
Gotcha.
I think he's a good player. Does Smitty ever not get to super chats because he's got to end the show? Maybe once in the history of the channel because I had an emergency or something, Joe Buck. But no, I absolutely get to all super chats. Joe Buck's worried because I haven't answered his yet. You just dropped it. I got it right here, Joe Buck. I'm not going anywhere. Keeper League. Keep starters. QB. Plus, when I hit this button right here, I'm looking at the super chats, and then I come back. I'm like, oh, there's a super chat here. Like, don't worry. I almost never. The only time I ever miss one is if I accidentally put it on screen, and then somebody calls, and I leave the screen, or I do something like that. Keeper League. Mute yourself, Briz, if you could. Keeper League, QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, 2 flex, and taxi. Mahomes, Gibbs, Barkley, Jamar, Pickens, and Njoku, Chuba, CMC. Who would you keep? Who would you cut of those final and cut for the final flex spots? Oh boy, this is a big question, Buck. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So your quarterback, Mahomes, fantastic. How many keeper is it? Keeper League. 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end. So you keep the entire lineup, you're saying? Because I don't know if I fully understand it. If that's the case, then obviously Mahomes is a mother freaking fantastic keeper. I still believe fully in him. Gibbs and Barkley, you have to keep. Those are your 2 running backs, your 2 wide receivers in this 4-man grandma league is Jamar Chase and I'm still keeping it. I'm still
MHJ or Worthy.
I'm still keeping MHJ. You still got flex spots,
Yeah.
but I'm still keeping MHJ. You can taxi Worthy, I imagine. So you taxi Worthy, you keep MHJ as your other wide receiver, and then your 2 flex spots are going to be. So Jamar, you got Jamar and MHJ. Your 2 flex spots are going to be Chuba and. I mean, you could taxi McMillan, but your 2 flex spots are going to be Chuba and probably Pickens, I guess. But like McMillan, how do you leave McMillan? You could either taxi McMillan or Worthy. Honestly, I guess I'd rather go or McMillan maybe. That one's tough. Chat, vote on that one. Would you rather keep McMillan or Worthy in a keeper league where you're going to taxi him? Now you said keeper league, Joe. Why did I call you Joe? Joe Buck? I just assumed your name was Joe. J Buck. Buck, you didn't say whether it was a dynasty league or you didn't say it was a dynasty league. You're saying keeper league. Taxi squads. Keeper league usually refers to you have a limited amount of time with these guys. Usually. If it's like a partial dynasty, you're keeping them forever. If you're keeping them forever, it changes the dynamic a little bit. You know, but chat, what are you keeping?
He just said MHJ is his taxi.
Oh, he's already in the spot. Okay. So MHJ is your taxi. I'm fine keeping that the way it is if that helps you keep him. Your 2 wide receivers are going to be Jamar and probably Pickens, I would imagine then. And your 2 flex spots are going to be Chuba and McMillan. Or Chuba and Worthy,
Okay.
or Worthy and McMillan.
So it is a dynasty.
Okay.
Dynasty redraft.
Okay.
Keep the starters. Benches get redrafted along.
So
with
that's a dynasty league more so. I mean, it's a keeper league dynasty like hybrid, but dynasty's an important word because it means you're keeping forever. Whereas keeper, there's usually, when you just say keeper league, there's some sort of like year limit to it. I don't know. This is tough, guys. Vote on that. Rock Out and Travis, would you keep Worthy? So if you had to choose between Chuba, Worthy, and McMillan, and you could only keep two, which two are you keeping? Worthy, Chuba, McMillan. I think I'd go Chuba and McMillan. But you could go both wide receivers and say, I don't know.
I'd keep Chuba.
Yeah.
Because it's good value there. I might go Worthy just off the amount of targets he's getting. I guess you have to decide what you think Rice is going to do, and I guess Hollywood's back too. But McMillan's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Buck, I'm going to say, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I think Travis is right. I like McMillan a lot, though. I like him a lot. Probably go Worthy and Chuba. Draft McMillan back, though. I love him, bro. CMC, like how we're just glossing over CMC like he's dog water. I think you consider CMC, I suppose, but at the same time, it's like, where would you draft Christian McCaffrey? Like, let me ask this question to the chat and to Travis and Rockout and to Briz. And I'll go to Briz first, and then Briz, you can ask your question. Chat and Briz, and then Rockout and Travis after. Chat and Briz, would you draft Chuba Hubbard before Christian McCaffrey in redraft 2025? In redraft 2025, who are you drafting first, McCaffrey or Chuba? I don't think this is an easy call to predict what people will do. I'm not saying it's not easy for me, but I'm very curious where people are going to draft McCaffrey this year. I have no idea. I don't even have a. We got Hoosiers with the CMC vote. Watch CMC become the running back one next year, says Mario. See what I'm saying? This is a. I knew it was going to be wild.
I'm kind of rethinking in this format. It might not be the worst idea to keep CMC over any of the flex guys.
But remember, there's not a limited keeper year. Like you are throwing away an infinity amount of time to keep. You know what I mean?
It's dynasty. That's for
it's
sure.
Dynasty. It's not.
No. You're right. It's dynasty.
Chuba over, especially with the late Brooks re-injury. CMC is undraftable, says Jumpin' John. See what I'm saying? This is all over the map. I knew it was going to be wild. The question's wild. It's all over the map.
I'm not touching CMC in a redraft. I mean, it would have to be something absurd for me to take him.
Gavin says CMC is a keeper.
I'm going to like and trust players better.
Look at the two most recent back-to-back comments by Jumpin' John and Gavin. And let me just note that Jumpin' John's got a YouTube exclusive membership and Gavin does not. So everybody, I'm just saying one of them has gone to the Fantasy Football Show College University, Himothy U. The other one has not yet attended. CMC is undraftable, says Green Jumpin' John, whereas Gavin, ungreen name, not a green name, CMC is a keeper. I refuse to think about it. Think the same about trading CMC. If the Niners are lucky to have Genty, oh come on, please. No, Ray G. No, Ray G. No, Ray G. Absolutely none of that.
Niner fans have everyone going to the Niners.
Please. I mean, the thing is, like, what if the Niners took Genty? What if they took Genty? That would be absolutely the worst thing that could ever happen to Ashton Genty. Please. The crowded room. CMC's not going anywhere for a little while. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be elite, but he's going to play at least another year. Try. Let's not do this. No Genty. It'd be absolutely awful.
Dude, be a gunner on special.
Yeah, and Grenda looks great. Like, come on. Anyway, J Buck, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Spencer with this, and then let me go to Briz real quick. I'm sorry, Briz. Let me answer this one real quick. Spencer says home league, second place league with my college homie, second place. The biggest money league, third place. Sad day, next season, bounce back will be historical. That's the attitude to have, Spencer, is the bounce back, the rise, the remembrance of this moment when you smash next year into oblivion. Thank you for the super chat and the support and for being on the Patreon and all that. See you on the Patreon, pal. Briz, go ahead. Ask your question. Go.
First off, I won my big money league.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks for your guidance all season. So, just to talk, I got a keeper league. Oh,
sorry. I hit the wrong buttons. Go ahead.
Keeper league.
Yeah.
I got a drop 2. I got JD5, Bijan, Amon-Ra, BTJ, Brees Hall, and Brandon Ayuk.
JD5.
I'm leaning toward.
Read them again.
I'm leaning towards keeping JD5.
Read them again.
Bijan, JD5, Bijan, Amon-Ra, BTJ, Brees Hall, and Ayuk.
Amon, BTJ, Brees Hall, and Ayuk. Okay, why? I'm not going to waste my marker on Ayuk on this question. Come on. JD5, Bijan, Amon-Ra, BT.
I just threw him in there.
Yeah,
but
that's.
My main thing is I'm thinking of dropping Brees Hall.
So you're only dropping.
The other
you're only dropping one more. Okay, so let me show everybody what we're dealing with. Ayuk. You can't drop JD5. He's a second to third rounder. Okay, let's do it this way. This is the easiest way. I feel like it's wild to me when people don't even go through this exercise. And granted, this is going to prove to be still very close, but sometimes it's not close, and it's like, why? Vampy, call back, Vampy. Sometimes it's not close, and it's like, didn't you go through this in your mind? JD5, what pick evaluation would you put on JD5 in your mind? Like,
I think he's a first, second round pick.
Okay, so would 2.10 be appropriate? 2.12. This is a 1 QB league, right?
I'd say 2.5.
Is this a 1 QB league?
Yes.
Okay, so this is not my call. This is your call. You say 2.5. What is Bijan?
Bijan's probably 1.3.
Okay, this is his call, not mine. Amon-Ra.
I think he's 1.9.
BTJ.
I think he's 2.8 or 9.
And Brees Hall. You're being honest with yourself.
I think he's right around the 2.8 or 9. So those are the two I'm debating about, is Brees and BTJ, and I think I'm going to keep BTJ.
Okay. I think you
and then try to recoup Brees or whoever the next best running back is. I think you answered
your own question. I mean, yeah, so it's hard to say. Like, Brees Hall, based on the early detection sensors and the gigawatts and the component structure, molecular breakup that I'm sensing across the fantasy football community, Brees Hall is going to become a value in 2025. A really nice value. We're talking about maybe my early projection, if I had to guess right now, being the steal of 2025. At least in like the third round territory. We got people saying Brees is a third rounder. You know,
that's crazy.
That's fantastic. I'm not saying that you're wrong in this evaluation process. I'm merely just pointing out that the laws of we have to draft this player over Brees Hall, those laws and you know, analysis and process that we're going to go through to come to that conclusion over and over and over again are forcing Brees Hall into a very reasonable but kind of needed to be placed territory. Like, he kind of needs to be placed at this place. I can't take him at 2.1 for a lot of reasons, and it's none to do with him. It has to do with coaching, quarterback, the culture, the way they used him, the play calling, so many factors. So the Jets bad luck. Like, the Jets are just horrible luck. Like, this feels like the Bears. You know, so there's so many factors that make me say this is not illogical and this is absolutely needed, but it's going to put Hall in an amazing place. He's got to be.
What if the Jets got Fields as a QB?
I still think that this is questionable, you know, but I think what I'm trying to tell you is I agree with your assessment, But maybe we swing back around and grab Breece Hall, because if he does have third-round evaluation, I bet you he might be potentially, now it depends on the running backs available, and people are scrounging for running backs, he might be taken right away because people need an RB. But this might be one of the better players to go back and redraft, and he probably has the best chance of being around. So, like, that's the other thing that I was going to get into. When people say, hey, who do I throw back? I always ask the question to the person, who's more likely to be snatched up quicker? And the answer is usually going to tell you who you should drop, because then you can probably try and get that player back if they're important to you. So you let BTJ retain BTJ, you let Breece Hall go. And my assessment based on the chat voting is that you're more likely, not guaranteed, but more likely to get Breece Hall back with your next pick than you are BTJ. So that in itself will tell you who to probably keep. Not always, but because you might have a sleeper, but that's what I would say.
All right, that's how I feel. Did you land any underdog yearly picks?
I didn't do well in the
Pacheco F'd me. I picked him on a bunch of.
So my best team that I had left across all the tournaments had Josh Allen last week and Bijan, and my team tanked last week. That would have absolutely smashed this week. I think if I had that team left, it had JMO, it had God, I'm sick to my stomach even thinking about who was on that roster.
Oh,
it was.
You're thinking about the drafting. I'm saying before the season. Remember, you drove to California just so you could play some bids.
I haven't even looked at those yet. You know what my problem? Okay. You're right, Pacheco. You know what my problem was with those? Oh, I haven't even pulled it up, bro. I don't even know. My problem with those is, yes, I attached. They're not even completed yet. Do they go through week 18? They're all.
Yeah, I think they go through week 18.
Are you sure? Let's see here. NFL 2024-25 season, 9/24. Oh, that's when I placed it. Payout details. Let me go there. Does it say week 17 or week 18? I don't know if it says. It probably does go to week 18, I imagine. I don't know. All the fantasy contests end week 17, though. Does anybody know for sure? They're all sitting there. Sometimes they calculate the next day, though. But the problem is, my mistake. This is the first time. Well, no, actually, we did them the year prior, and I landed a lot of them. But I had a very short amount of time, and I went across the border to California. I did it live stream for those that don't know what we're talking about, and I made a bunch of underdog higher pick'ems. Now I'll be in California, at some point this year, so I can do it, in March or April. But I put Pacheco, I put Rashee Rice, I put a few players on too many of them. I need to mix it up, and I did too many 8-player contests. I didn't do a lot of 4 and 3 and 5, and that's where I've had major success this year. There was a streak that I had on Underdog where I was doing $100 or $150 or $200 pick'em contests where I pick 4 players. They would be the best values I could find. Usually I can find 3 or 4 amazing values, and I put 100 on it, and I do the flex play, and I'm at least getting 3 of the 4 almost every time, and I'm getting my money back if I don't land all 4. I think when you start doing this 8 stuff, it's so hard to land it. And the problem is I have Pacheco, and if I don't have Pacheco in it, I almost always had let's see, who was it that was in each of these? So Pacheco. God, he looked like a steal. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Pacheco F'd me on.
Pacheco. God, I have been like so many of these. It's just sad. I look back on it. I'm like, why did I do that? Why didn't I just mix it up? Like, I found a lot of them that I like, and I just do 4 and 5 player. Next year, I'm going to do it differently. But I don't know. I mean, some of these could land. I just can't tell. There's 8 players. I don't know what the line was for it. I had Marvin Harrison Jr. in a lot of them. I had Tank Dell in a lot of them. Tank Dell screwed me in a lot of these. But good lesson learned on how to, I think, put these together, especially when I have, like, Miss Smitty wanted to get out of there too. So it wasn't like, we crossed over the border and it was like I had like 15 minutes to do it all and I just kind of rushed it all, and it is what it is. But next year we're gonna hit those season long hires in a different way, and I think I'm gonna smash them. I'm gonna do 4. I'm gonna do groupings of 4 and mix it up royally. All right, I gotta go, bro. Appreciate you, Briz. Anything else real quick?
Take care. That's it. Have a good
all right.
New Year's.
Later. Travis, anything else? Deep, appreciate you, Deep.
No, just real quick. Do you think the Cardinals re-sign James Conner? I think they move on.
I mean, based on the way they used him last game, maybe not. I mean, did he get hurt again? Did he get hurt again in the game, or did they just really play him like that? I don't even know. I didn't even see much on Connor being hurt or anything.
You got Benson there.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, we'll look into it, but that's a good question. All right, later, Travis.
Thanks, Smitty.
Yep.
Bye.
Deep with the $20 holler, my boy, coming in.
Alert! Super chat alert!
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert! Super chat alert!
Deet, appreciate you, my boy. Let me see if I've got. There we go. Full PPR championship lineup: Gibbs, Chase Brown, McConkey, McMillan, Hall. I picked up Zacchaeus off the waiver wire. Final score 178 to 177. Purdue injury sealed it. Prayers up. Sat Achan. We are champs, baby. Deet, appreciate you dropping the $20 holler to celebrate that, and congrats on the win. And what a team. I'm looking at this lineup, bro. You got Gibbs, Chase Brown, McConkey, McMillan, Hall. Hall crapped the bed, and he still won. Zacchaeus was a fantastic waiver pickup. We flirted with that idea, but I'll admit it wasn't something that I was fully on board with, and I wish I was. Zacchaeus looks great right now. I don't know how he does next year or anything, but, I mean, right now he's definitely in his zone, and JD5 loves him, and he's targeting him. He led the league in targets last week. I mean, okay, let's see here. I think that's it. Appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the great season. Season's over, but 2025 starts now. 2025 starts today. There's no time off. I don't take a vacation. It's, on New Year's Day, I'm dropping content. New Year's Eve, I'm dropping. This doesn't stop. This is 365, and 2025 is here.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
And this isn't tonight we announced this. This is, they've been on there for a handful of about a week or 2 days, whatever. This is your first 2 Jupiter men. I mean, this is remarkable. These 2 guys are remarkable. These 2 guys are league winners. These 2 guys are franchise builders in both fantasy and in the NFL. Just what a good group of Jupiter men we got up there so far. And that, again, that's been up. That's not new. This is from Soap Dog. Soap, appreciate you. Just a little gratitude for another year of entertainment and great advice. Appreciate you, brother. Happy New Year. Thank you, Soap. Appreciate you, my boy. You're the man. I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, celebratory messages. Let's see if I have any of those. Celebratory. No. Gifted memberships. Not. Oh, wait. Maybe we do have celebratory. Hold on. Yes, we do. No, we don't. No, we don't. And Gifted, I don't think... Did we have any Gifted on this one? New Age Outlaws. God, I'm embarrassed. New Age, are you there? Poor guy. New Age, are you there? New Age Outlaws gifted 10 memberships. Was it 10? 20? 20. 20. New Age Outlaw gifted 20 memberships. New Age, are you there? I hope New Age is still here. I feel so bad I didn't see this. Where's New Age at? New Age gifted 20 mother-freaking memberships. Where's New Age? Be here. Be here. New Age, be here. Thank you, Shelly. Appreciate you. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. Thank you, Hazelnut. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Tebow Time. Where have you been? I took down the draft best ball contest and finished 8th in the draft. Nice job. Where's God, poor Outlaws. Didn't even see me celebrate his mother freaking 20 gifted memberships. Outlaws, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for doing that. If you see this later, I appreciate you. I'll put it in a pinned comment. See you all tomorrow. 2025 starts now. Tomorrow, top 25 overall players for 2025. That video drops. See you tomorrow. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. It's top one now. That video is old. He's number one. He's number one. And I'll bet you, and if you know the answer to this, don't say it. If you're 100% confident you know what the answer is, don't say it. But don't say it. Don't let other people take a guess, okay? Does anybody know where Jahmyr Gibbs went to college? Does anybody know where Jahmyr Gibbs... If you know the answer 100%, don't say it. Don't say it. Okay? Don't be a party pooper. Don't ruin it. Okay? Learn how to, hold back. Does anybody know where Jahmyr Gibbs went to college? Spit it out. Be clear. Be confident. Nobody. Nobody knows what college you went to. Tyrone says Alabama. Wrong. Wrong. It's not Alabama. Tyrone. Georgia Tech, Phil? No, it's wrong. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Additionally, live whenever big news breaks, and all those live streams, the off-season live streams, absolutely going to be fantastic. I can't wait. I can't wait. See you all tomorrow.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. Wanted. These outlaws are on the run. Wanted. 'Cause they're wanted. Dead or alive.
Take a lap. Don't come back. You're a Kyron hater. You're an HN instigator. Your mama never taught you how to be anything but AC Slater. And even if you want to pretend you like Kyron Williams now, he's never gonna love you back, so he won't turn no frowns upside down. Maybe you never had a papa, and that's okay, because I could be your daddy. Your mama never minded, so let's just be a big family. Kyron, HN, Bijan, Chase Brown. Look, there's another touchdown. If I'm gonna be your papa, you better get going. Take your lap and run it hard. And throw a little wave as you run down Smitty Boulevard.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back. Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
Want it.
We don't need your hating
The
ass
top
coming
most
back
wanted
now.
outlaws.
Take a big
These
lap.
outlaws are on the run. Want it.
Come back.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.